This lieutenant colonel is determined to get what he wants in a home for him and his wife.
I vehemently believe that we need to live in a high-rise. Wow, look at this lobby. Let's put an offer in now. The ductwork is awesome. Very urban flair about it.
I'm not sold.
His wife is equally set on a vintage DC row house.
You can tell that they've kept the charm, which is great. And look at just how cute the space is inside of this turret.
Is there a dedicated parking spot with this unit?
Unfortunately, there's no dedicated parking.
No parking. Compromise is going to be very difficult because I'm not very flexible.
We'll see. My name is Sarah Kochi, and this is my wife. This is my husband, Kevin. I'm a federal employee on Capitol Hill.
I'm a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army. I'm stationed at the Pentagon. I've been an active duty officer for going on 18 years now. We have two dogs, Heidi and Holly. They are Dapple Wiener dogs.
Holly, calm down. My goodness.
They're
a handful, but I love them to death.
I love them to death as well, and they do run her life. I met Sarah in 2004. I had returned from Iraq, and the Army sent me to graduate school. She was working on her dissertation at the time in psychology, and I thought that she was just using me as a part of her research. But she graduated and kept me around, so here we are 6-7 years later.
He's a big project.
We've lived here in D.C. for about 8 months. We lived in Clarksville, Tennessee at Fort Campbell. Yay! And the Army sent me here to D.C. and really fell in love with the area right away.
The seasons here are gorgeous, and just being able to walk from place to place, we're really excited to have that opportunity to be living here.
The apartment we currently live in is a high-rise luxury apartment complex in central D.C. We love the location, the amenities it has to offer.
I'm able to walk the dogs upstairs, lots of storage. Those are certainly aspects that we're hoping to find within a place that we look to buy.
I am at the 18-year mark in my career, and I'm eligible to retire at 20. We consider D.C. a place that we're going to grow some roots after the Army. So we decided to go ahead and start actively looking.
Anything good?
We've set $550,000 as our upper limit, and that's primarily based on our Army-approved basic allowance for housing. We've narrowed our search to the central D.C. area where a lot of the action lies.
We want to be able to be in walking distance for me to work. It needs to be 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
I have a daughter. She's 16 and lives in Nashville, Tennessee, which definitely is a consideration as we look for a condo that has the right type of living space when she comes to visit. A deal breaker for me is the gym environment. I have to have that. Working out is very important to me.
I think a deal breaker for me would be having a space to walk the dogs, very accessible.
We disagree a bit on the style of the home. We don't necessarily disagree with the internal surroundings of our home. We like a modern environment to live in. We like those conveniences. However, I vehemently believe that we need to live in a high-rise with the concierge, the lobby, and all those amenities.
I'm kind of interested in a row home specifically because of the charm of them. There's just so many neat architectural features that I think are really cool. That place looks cute.
I'm not sure I can see myself in this cute, but compromise is going to be very difficult because I'm not very flexible in terms of compromising the attributes that I want.
We'll see.
They've turned to realtor Peter Rea to help in their search.
Our realtor is a retired Marine. When we first got linked up with him, I was pretty suspect of having a jarhead for my realtor. However, he has proved me wrong, and I trust that he's going to help us find the right place, even though he's a Marine.
Well, a Marine working with an Army guy, that can always be challenging. But for me, I mean, it wasn't so bad being a Marine for 22 years. We kind of think the same to some extent. We're working on a great experience throughout this transaction.
Today, Peter's lined up a classic row house in the convention center neighborhood that should be right up Sarah's alley.
$480,000. So we fit right within budget.
That's actually a really good price. What's the square footage?
It's roughly 1,150 square feet. It's about 2 miles to the Capitol for your walk.
Okay. It's not necessarily something I want to do every day.
It's not exactly the high-rise that I thought we were going to look at, but
But it's kind of cute.
It's definitely not a high-rise, but it's a very nice building. Very well managed. There is no gym. You'd have to belong to a local gym, which is just a few blocks away.
there is one close.
There's one close by. It's just over 100 years old, but it was just recently renovated.
Okay.
You can tell that they've modernized it, but yet kept the charm, which is great.
Yes.
I really like the layout. It's perfect.
I'm pleasantly surprised. It is wide open. A lot wider than I envisioned for a row home.
I really like the wood floors.
To your left here, you have a dining room for entertaining.
This is really, really super cute.
What's the plan for parking, Peter?
On-street parking right for any place to park your car.
There is no reserved parking,
In essence.
in essence.
I do like the openness, and the finishes in the kitchen are great.
I'm pleasantly surprised considering the outside, looked a little bit older.
It looks like there's a little pantry here, which is great. Oh,
What is?
not really.
Holy
Definitely
cow, that's
a
the water
problem.
heaters in the kitchen pantry.
When I first opened the kitchen pantry and saw that water heater, I was like, what on earth? This is ridiculous. There's no way I can put any food in there.
But an easy solution to that is we can put a small instant hot water heater in there, which would give you that pantry back.
So we're already talking some upgrades.
Now, this is the smaller 2 bedrooms, but it does have a full-size bath.
I
Yeah,
could see Madison happy in here when she visits.
it's decent.
I'm not sure about the color of the carpet.
And here's the larger of the 2. This is the master bedroom right here.
A great light, I'll say that.
I do like the windows, definitely.
It is a full bath. It's small, but it's nicely finished off. I don't know if we could ever both get ready in here together.
It's kind of small.
Yep, see, this is exactly what I was afraid of. There's definitely not enough space for all of our stuff.
I know, that's definitely a challenge.
Outside the master is a private courtyard.
Wow, this is a great yard. You don't get this much yard in the city. This, as opposed to an elevator, is huge.
Sarah, sometimes she lets the dogs drive our decisions for our lifestyle. I feel that she's failing to recognize some of the major issues with the property because of the dogs. Well, we're going to need space for a pull-up bar since I'm not going to have my gym if we move here.
Well, if you don't have the gym right here, you can simply just run to the gym around the corner and get that exercise in.
I do have some concerns with this house. First of all, there's not a whole lot of storage. The other thing is that there's no parking. Things that I really like about this place in particular are the yard, which is great for walking the dogs. And overall, it's just a nice, cozy place that I can really see Kevin and I in.
One of my main concerns is there was no parking. That is a major, major setback in terms of picking this property.
Now Peter's showing them a high-rise he hopes Kevin will love. But Sarah's got one major reservation.
I don't necessarily think that it's worth it in the end.
Kevin and Sarah moved to D.C. 8 months ago when the Army transferred Kevin to the Pentagon. Looking to set down roots here, they've budgeted $550,000 to buy a condo in downtown D.C. So far, they've seen a place in a vintage row home that Sarah liked. She especially liked that it had a small private yard for the dogs.
This is huge.
But Kevin was disappointed with the lack of amenities and storage.
See, this is exactly what I was afraid of. There's definitely not enough space for all of our stuff.
Today, their realtor Peter's showing them a high-rise in central D.C. that should appeal to Kevin.
This is right in the heart of the city. It's a 2-bedroom, approximately just under 1,000 square feet, but it's at the high range at $559 with all the amenities you're looking for.
Perfect.
You haven't even seen the inside yet. And it's definitely on the high end of our budget.
It's got a 24-hour concierge.
This is awesome.
I will admit it's impressive.
I knew right away when we approached the building, and especially when we got into the lobby, that this is someplace that I could live.
The building also has assigned parking and a gym.
Here's the gym right on the first floor of the main level of the building.
It's not bad at all.
But the amenities don't come cheap. The monthly HOA fee is $550.
The HOA fee is just astronomical, and I don't necessarily think that it's worth it in the end.
The homeowner association fee is a little bit higher than what we've seen in other properties, but I think it's still within the price range that we set ourselves at.
Here we are in the foyer with the wood floors like you were looking for.
I like it already. It's a nice little foyer.
I like the floors, definitely, but the space right here is not very inviting.
The ductwork is awesome. Very urban flair about it.
Great open space here.
Wow.
I really, really like this.
Look at these
lot.
windows.
Oh my
Holy
gosh,
cow.
it's so nice and open.
The
and
natural light.
The view, and you can see the Capitol from here. That's really neat.
That is awesome.
Wow.
So obviously, you could walk to work from here.
That's true. I do like that.
When I first saw this place for Sarah and Kevin, I thought it was great, walkable distance to everything they're looking for, whether it's a restaurant, bars, or even for Sarah to walk to work. And you have the open kitchen right here. You got the granite countertops right here with the gas stove, stainless steel.
I really, really, really like this kitchen space. And the fact that it's open up into the living area is great.
The granite is a beautiful color, and the cabinets are nice too.
I'm noticing one thing. I don't know where we would put a dining table or kitchen table. It seems a little tight for that.
It is one thing that I don't like about where we live now is the fact that we have to eat on our couches.
This here would be considered your master bedroom.
It's not bad.
It's tiny. This is a double bed. I don't know how on earth we would get our furniture in a king bed.